Hey, so I just wanted to talk about something very briefly. Listen, I found a study that says that at least 54% of black men have had overlapping sexual relationships where they sleeping with more than one person at a time. Listen, I think that 54% is a low estimate. I think that the real number is probably something approaching 75 or 80%. Okay, when you look at what has happened in maybe your personal life or the personal lives of black women that you know, and you hear the way these men talk and how they pretty much openly admit that they have more than one sexual partner, let me tell y'all something. There are some real life consequences to that reckless behavior. And it's not just black men who think it's okay. You have a lot of black women who think it's totally normal for black men to be unfaithful. Let me tell you something, divested black woman. You set a moral code for yourself and have a set of standards for yourself, and you apply that code and standards to anyone who's trying to be a part of your life. And do not deal with any man who thinks it's okay to be supposedly committed to you while he's out here bed hopping with other people. And stay away from women who are comfortable with those situations too, because I'm gonna tell you something. A woman who is vibrating so low that she's comfortable being a part of a man's harem is a woman who cannot be happy for you when you enter a stable and committed relationship or marriage. Okay? That's a woman who would be in your circle trying to sabotage your relationship because she doesn't have enough standards for herself to not accept these overlapping relationships for herself. Okay? They've done studies now that are basically confirming that the dating and sexual patterns amongst the black collective is one of the main contributing factors to the STD rates. So my message to us as divested black women is to stay away from people who are comfortable with this type of reckless behavior. Because see, this right here is pure NIGGATRY. And even in this article, it's basically saying that black men are positioned very favorably in their local dating markets. And do you know why? It's because the black woman collective insists on only dating one group of men. When you put men on a pedestal like that, this is the type of reckless stuff that they do because they know you're not going to go anywhere. They know you're not going to leave. So if you're a divested black woman, I'm going to tell you something. Leave people to their recklessness. Let people lay in the bed that they made. Let them dig themselves out of the hole that they dug. It's like you got to climb out of that hole since you're the one who dug it and jumped your dumb ass into it. Okay? And as a divested woman, run away from people who participate in this type of foolishness, because doing it will save your life. You know how many black women have incurable STDs right now? Because they were laying up with some man who they knew was sleeping with 5 or 6 different women and or men. They stayed with some man for 20 years and they know that man has 3 outside babies and she stayed with him. Let people deal with the consequences of their own NIGGATRY. And like I said, you have a moral code and a set of standards for yourself. And part of that moral code should mean not participating in these situations and not accepting any man into your life who is doing this type of stuff. Okay? Live for yourself establish yourself, and when you apply a set of standards to any man who tries to deal with you, then what'll happen is the men who are reckless will know that they're not going to measure up, and so they'll eventually get to the point where they won't approach you. And you'll find a good, honorable man who will love you and value you. Don't let anyone make you feel like you have to be limited to one race of men. Okay? Because as a divested black woman, you have human rights. You have the right to live in the way that you want to live. Because these people who are trying to encourage you to stick with a collective mindset, they want you to suffer. See, some people, when they make bad decisions, instead of being honorable enough to acknowledge, okay, they made a bad decision and to advise you to do differently, some of those people become so hateful and evil that they want to see everyone around them suffer. Let me tell you something. If you encounter a person who has made a series of bad decisions and they encourage you to walk down the same path that they took, that's a person that you cut off immediately. Immediately. Not only do we need to divest away from reckless men, but let me tell you something. You don't keep yourself around anyone, including other black women, who participate in dangerous behavior. Because a person who doesn't care about their life won't care about yours. All right? I'm going to talk to y'all soon.